Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. How does Donny van de Beek fit into Manchester United? Because there seems to be a lot of confusion about this, and I want to take a few minutes just to show who Donny van de Beek is, where he fits in at Manchester United and what strengths he actually brings. Because it feels like you need a little bit more excitement about this signing in your life. So Donny van de Beek is 23 years of age. Currently playing for Ajax, but will soon very much be coming to Manchester United. We know he's played Champions League semi-finals. We know he was a big part of that Ajax side that lost to Spurs in the Champions League semi-final the year before last. But also a Dutch international as well. But how does this very quick, very efficient, very good signing from Manchester United fit into United? Because it's a little bit more simple than saying he's a bit like De Bruyne. Oh, can he play where Matic plays? Is he going to be sat on the bench? Well, if you take a look on the left-hand side, look, Donny van de Beek, he's played 34 games this season for Ajax. He's got 14 goals. He's got 7 assists. He's got 81% possession rate, and he does 1.7 key passes per game, which on the face of it is very good. But you're going to get the people saying, well, look, this is Ajax. This is the Eredivisie. They're the best team in that division. It's a little bit easy for him. So what I want to do is look at where on the pitch he's going to feature, where on the pitch he's featured for Ajax, and also compare him and his stats around a few areas, defensively, attacking, passing, and compare him to a wide range of players, not just Bruno, Pogba, but also Jordan Henderson, who was considered one of the best midfielders in the league last season, De Bruyne, who's considered to be one of the best attacking midfielders in Europe and also in the Premier League, and also Rodri, who as a holding midfielder, for me, statistically, is the best holding midfielder in the Premier League. So let's have a look at how Donny van de Beek fits in, and I'll go through that in a moment. But first of all, let's move to the pitch stats board, and let me just show you where Donny van de Beek will fit in. Okay, here we are at the tactics board then. Let's have a look at where Van de Beek will fit in for Manchester United. So as you can see, on my left, we've got the Manchester United typical lineup with Martial, Bruno, Rashford, Pogba, Greenwood, Matic. Forget the defence, he ain't playing in defence. So, as you can see in this system, you've got Matic who patrols there, you've got Pogba who sort of goes box to box, sits a little bit deeper, and you've got Bruno in a more advanced position here. Donny van de Beek, we'll use him for blue for the moment just to highlight where he would come. Now, some people think he might go into this role. He can do it, but it's not Donny van de Beek. That's not the best of Donny van de Beek. Where you want Donny van de Beek is in these positions around here, because he's very good at winning the second balls. This is the Ajax way. He's very good at winning the ball back. He's very tenacious, as we'll go through some stats in a minute. So you want Donny van de Beek around these areas here. Specifically, you want him around these areas because he's right-footed. So around that sort of area. And also, if you can get him on the ball around here, he's very good. He's got assists in him. He's got goals in him. He's got creativity in him. So you want Donny van de Beek around these positions, which straight away you go, well, look, is he going to take Paul Pogba's spot? No. Is he going to take Bruno Fernandes's spot? No. But this is where Donny van de Beek on the bench, anywhere along here, becomes very important. Because if you want to take Bruno off the pitch, you bring Donny van de Beek onto the pitch. There. Or you bring him on for Paul Pogba. It's very, very easy. So anybody who thinks Donny van de Beek's going to be a centre defensive midfielder, look, I'm not going to say it's not possible, but it's not what Donny van de Beek's reputation within world football is. Donny van de Beek's reputation as a young, up-and-coming talent is that of a tenacious, good on the ball creator, energy, that Ajax way, that ability to play one-touch, quick football. That's what you get with Donny van de Beek. And what Manchester United get, and I think it's very important with Manchester United, is that they get a player who can occupy these two roles, who are not Andreas Pereira, who are not Juan Mata, who are actually 23. They've played in Champions League semi-finals, they've been successful, and they're ready and hungry to take that next step. So yeah, Donny van de Beek operates in these positions as the player we've bought. That doesn't mean to say we won't see him operating over here, or maybe here, but I think we've bought him for those two positions there. Not to be a winger, not to be a CDM, to be there for Bruno and Pogba. As we know, those players will not play every single game for Manchester United. So there you've seen how Donny van de Beek will fit in at Manchester United within our system as we think it will be, and what positions he will occupy and how he will do that. Now let's take a look at how Donny van de Beek compares to other players in the Premier League with his various skills that I believe he will bring to Manchester United. For me, Donny van de Beek is a player that, when you look at the clips, and look, you've got to watch a player play, and you're going to see him playing for Manchester United. But when people say, you know, I think he can be Herrera's replacement. I don't think he's anything like Ander Herrera. I think actually when you look at the way he plays games, there's more similarities in body movement and the way he tries to play with De Bruyne than there is with a Herrera. And I'm not saying he's anywhere near as good as De Bruyne, because De Bruyne to me is one of the best attacking midfielders in world football. But he definitely plays in that way, in the way that he tries to move, the way he can carry the ball, the little bits of skills he's got. He's more of a De Bruyne type player in that sense. But I think what he'll bring to Manchester United as well is this tenacity, this energy, this drive. And as I said, look, we're going to compare him to Pogba, Bruno, Matic, Henderson, De Bruyne and Rodri. And what I would say is, where he comes out on top out of all of those is he's younger than all of those players. So he's still got growth in him. But let's have a look at this. So look, what the first thing I wanted to take a look at, and I'll read this out to you, defensive stats I wanted to take a look at. And I wanted to have a look at defensive duels won. His percentage of defensive duels won. He comes out on top. He wins 68% of his defensive duels. Rodri wins 60%. Pogba wins 60%, Matic wins 57%, and Bruno wins 56%, Jordan Henderson 54%, and De Bruyne 54%. So Van der Beek way ahead of the second place Rodri in relation to defensive duels won. Now, if you think about what we were talking about before, we're not expecting Van der Beek to play as a centre defensive midfielder. We're expecting him to play in the midfield. And yet, his defensive duels won is 68%, which shows that tenacity in that box-to-box position. Or if he plays a little bit further up, he wins the ball back. That's what Ajax are all about. He wins the ball back and he's got that tenacity to do that. In relation to interceptions per 90 minutes, I think it was interceptions per 90 minutes I wanted to have a look at. Yeah, so it's interceptions per 90 minutes. He is... Oh no, that's not what I wanted to look at. It's interceptions per 90 minutes. Yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. So interceptions per 90 minutes, you've got Matic at 4.46. You've got Rodri at 4. You've got Jordan Henderson at 3.7. You've got Pogba at 3.28, and then you've got Donny van der Beek at 2.77, ahead of Bruno on 2.5 and ahead of De Bruyne on 2.3. But interceptions per 90 minutes, yeah, he's more mid-table because he's not a centre defensive midfielder. He's not a centre defensive midfielder. He's more of an attacking-minded midfielder. And he plays, as we saw in that screen, he plays on the right-hand side. So more box-to-box, but more attacking, really. And again, at 23, he's got that growth to develop different areas of his game. Maybe Ollie will try and get him to be a little bit more defensive. But I think what we're getting with Van der Beek, I don't know why I keep calling him De Bruyne. I hope he ends up being like De Bruyne. We're getting a player that is there to give competition and a cover for Pogba and for Bruno, which is essential to Manchester United. Right, let's move into the passing accuracy area, because I think this is very important as well. So I want to look at passing accuracy, comparing him to the likes of Henderson, De Bruyne, Rodri, Pogba, and Matic and Bruno. So no surprises here. Passing accuracy, 94% for Rodri at Manchester City. 89% for Matic, but remember a lot of these passes will be sideways, backwards passing, so it doesn't surprise me that a centre defensive midfielder has got a better passing accuracy than more attacking players. Pogba's third on 87%, Henderson's on 86%, but Donny van der Beek is on 84%, whereas De Bruyne and Bruno are on 78 and 76. Now I would expect that the passing accuracy of your CAM, your centre attacking midfielder, is going to be lowest because there's more risk. I would expect that your CDM is going to be highest because there's less risk. But it's interesting to see Van der Beek hovering around that sort of Pogba and Jordan Henderson area, because again, that just shows you that he's sort of hovering around that. I think the passing accuracy of Van der Beek is absolutely spot on. And don't ask me why they've got him down as 84% on this place and 81% on that. It may be that they are used, the 81% is taken in cup games or whatever, like this is just league games. But it's around 80 to 84% for Van der Beek. Whereas a CAM's going to be around 75% and a CDM's going to be around 90%. So what you see with Van der Beek is that ability to be both, that box-to-box. He can be more progressive, and that's why his passing range is a little bit down on a CDM, but it's slightly better than a CAM because he's more box-to-box. So again, that works really well, and it shows you what you are with Van der Beek. I think for me, Van der Beek is more and more maybe the right-sided box-to-box midfielder. He can do the CAM, but I think he's sort of in between that, but that's, you can see where he's going. He's not a CDM, and I think that's very important to get across. He's not a CDM. But there is also an attacking element, and I think this, again, is really, really interesting when you look at the attacking element of Donny van der Beek, because assists per 90 minutes, he comes third. De Bruyne is 0.5 assists per 90 minutes, whereas Bruno is 0.4 assists per minute, but Van de Beek is 0.16, which is way better than people like Henderson and Grealish and Pogba. So again, he is showing there that, yeah, Bruno and De Bruyne are going to be better than him at that, but he's not far off. He comes in that third position, which I think is really interesting as well. But also what you might be interested in relation to Van de Beek is, get stuffed. My stat things has gone down now, which is really frustrating when I'm doing a video. But his goal conversion rate and his shots on target rate is very, very good as well, comparable to people like De Bruyne and Bruno. So again, I think what you're getting with Van de Beek, and I don't need to look at the stats for this, because I think we've evidenced it very, very well. He's not a centre defensive midfielder, and anybody who thinks that is wrong. He's a right-sided player who plays box-to-box and centre attacking midfield. He's not De Bruyne, and he's not Bruno. He's not at that level, but he's 23, he's younger, and he's got growth, and he's coming into the Premier League. But what he is good at, he's good at passing. He's good at breaking the play up. He was top in relation to winning his duels, but also he's very good at goal conversion. He's very good at assists. So he's a defender from the front, basically. He is your quintessential attacking box-to-box midfielder. And at 23, I think he can grow into many other areas as well. And this is, to me, why Van de Beek is such an important player. Because at a very young age, he's proven that he can get to Champions League semi-finals and not be out of place. He's proven that teams like Real Madrid want him. And he's proven that when Manchester United are looking for a player, that when Bruno or Pogba are tired or injured or need to come off or need a rest or need to be challenged, then Donny van de Beek definitely fits that role perfectly. So there you go. That's what Donny van de Beek brings to Manchester United. Get your comments in below, smash a like on the video and get excited. Thanks everyone for watching.